So they've got pretty good engage here. They're kind of going to have to start fights off of Skara. If you can land
Kiwi Kid this time, we'll get to see what Kiwi Kid can produce, how much he has settled into the new role and his new team.
Okay, so right off the bat, we see defensive postures on both sides. So St. Vicious spamming out that taunt right there. Maybe it's the laugh. I'm not actually sure which animation it is, but he is already warming his fingers up, pressing that. And yeah, we see Skara and Nijaki kind of squaring off in the mid lane. So once again, we do see AP mid Kale. Or, well, I should say mid Kale. We'll see what the build ends up being here. Gragas in the mid lane here. Again, right, I want to point out that the Twitch Nunu is going to be a late game terror that I don't think... It's going to depend on St. Vicious and Voyboy, really, because if they can get rid of Twitch immediately, then great. They have nothing really to worry about, and I think Curse can clean up the fight with the rest of their lineup. However, if they can't, QTPie will eviscerate that team.
Looks like the lane swap will be happening here, Freak. They're going to start putting him up top. Looks like Twitch and Nunu will be facing off against Nidalee. Pretty good for her. She will be able to sustain in that. St. Vicious looks to be grabbing his own blue on this one, so they are not going to give that to her. And how is this lane matchup for Elise, especially in long-range poke with no sustain?
I actually really like this lane setup for Dignitas right now. Or sorry, for Curse right now.
Okay.
I think Nidalee has a better 1 versus 2 than Elise. I think she has the sustain. She has, I think, a little bit better farming tools, and is going to be in danger much less. And again, that Lulu Caitlyn lane has so much just turret killing power that I don't know how Kiwi Kid stops that from falling.
They're going for a super fast red for Crumbs here. They have had Patoya come down, give him the Blood Boil, and actually auto-attack it with him until it has died, so he has his might still up. We'll see if he can find anything fast from Crumbs in the next few minutes as he has gotten through his jungle a little bit faster here.
Okay, so right off the bat, we can see on your screen, Elements and Cop have completely zoned out Kiwi Kid. And right now, they're not even... Well, actually, Cop is last hitting when they're at very high health, so I believe they are looking to push here. Kiwi Kid is kind of running into the jungle, running back out, puts a ward down to... That's actually a very, very smart ward. The ward in the jungle to the top left right here will actually watch most invades. If Saint comes for a gank here, he will see it coming.
Yeah, definitely blocking out the 3v1 gank that happens in the lane swap. He's already... taking a little bit of health. He's still level 1 to what is level 4. He's got 4 abilities to come at him, the 2 level 2s that he's facing against right now. But we do see this Crumbs now being fast. Maybe they can be baiting this one in for Kiwi Kid here. He's taking a little bit of damage there. The stop goes down and they can't get the Q to hit. Cop just forced back out of that attack.
And look at that. They got some free damage in the Kiwi Kid, a little bit of damage in the turret, and Kiwi's still at 0 minions. He's finally picked up 1 now. And that's a bad place to be. Kiwi Kid's going to be stuck here in a very bad situation.
So the lane swap right off the bat. Kiwi Kid probably said, you know, guys, I should be okay in this. We'll just have to see if that is going to be the truth. Crumbs is forced to stay here for quite some time, and really where you see the jungler come down and help right now is just to push the pressure off, but Curse isn't having any of it. They're staying right in their face. And he could go down here. Kiwi Kid takes a shot, but he misses the Peacemaker from Cop's end.
With more damage going on to him, he's not having a good time with this at all. And St. Vicious, though, he's waiting for the tower push. He's going to go in for a counter engage.
It looks like he does show himself. No charge in, though, as Patoy saw him just on the end. They have quite a minion wave there as well, and Saint would take some good damage.
This is actually kind of interesting because it pretty much stops Dignitas from getting a lot of free damage into Void. Actually, they're going to go for the push anyway. Look at that damage output, getting him so low right there.
The Ignite will definitely push him out of lane. He's forced to go back. St. Vicious now forced to use his blue buffs to simply, or use his buffs rather, to simply farm.
And you can just see Crumbs and Kiwi Kid. Honestly, this is sort of what happens in 1 versus 2, actually, a lot of the time, is the jungler is forced to play support a little bit. The jungler is forced to be sort of a babysitter in that 1 versus 2 lane, because you just saw how rough did that look for Kiwi Kid. The glimpses you guys just saw.
He's just got 1 CS.
Yeah,
right?
he's at 3 right now. Void's only at 7. He's been dropped to no health over and over. He opened up with Flask, Potion, and Ward, and he's already out of all Flask, Potion, and Ward charges. He's spent all his gold just on consumables and is out. And Kiwi Kid's having a very, very rough time here. And Crumbs has been sitting there just trying to support him. He's only at 11 minions himself because he's been sitting there at that bottom lane trying to keep him alive. He's used all his potions as well. Dignitas are not legging this lane swap.
And this is really going to show you, you know, we kind of poked at it before. I said, you know, Malphite can kind of take a hit in lane on CS and still be all right, still do his job as he gets into that late game. This will really be the test of, will Kiwi Kid be able to do the same thing on Elise?
And the difficulty here, though, is it's going to be interesting because so right now, right, we talked about the early game where I'm a cutie pie on Twitch. is a really important one to watch for here, and that he has to be afraid basically of Voyboy and Saint Vicious, a little bit Nijack, but mostly Voyboy and Saint. So Saint's babysitting Voy, so Saint's not getting any gold from ganks and kills. Voy is in a 1 versus 2, and really is not getting very much gold on Needly, so he's not very threatening either. So yeah, Kiwi Kid's not going to have a good time this game, but who's going to stop Blood-Boiled Cutie Pie? And right now it's looking like no one.
That's true, especially when you don't know where he's coming to start off the fight. It's going to be a huge amount of front-end burst damage that your team isn't ready for, and these guys don't have a lot of shields. They have a few heals they can throw on themselves. They have Lulu's shield, but that ultimate hits everybody in the fight, and there's a good amount of area effect to go with it there.
Yeah, and so that's really what's going to be interesting here, is that it's very easy, I think, for Curse to put good early damage on kind of everyone.
Right.
They're good at kind of working everyone a little bit down. I just don't know how they get rid of Cutie Pie here, which is really the big scary thing, because, you know, I sort of said, yeah, you know, Lulu Kate's a really good 2 versus 1. They'll shut whatever it is down. But that said, Lulu Kate would have beaten Twitch Nunu really easily in a 2-on-2. So they said, you know what? Yeah, I'm sorry, Kiwi Kid. You're going to have a really bad first game showing here in this match. I'm sorry, Kiwi, but you're going to have a really bad time in this game. However, we really need to keep Cutie Pie in good shape here. So you know what? Screw it, Cutie Pie. Get your farm going. He's up 29-26 on minions, so he's technically winning against that Caitlyn, against Cop. And there you can see him on your screen right there.
He's a cutie pie.
He is a cutie pie.
Look at him.
The flowing long locks of hair, it's great. But, yeah, you know, I think they're kind of putting all their cards in the Twitch deck.
Yeah, they could be. We'll have to see, actually, as the game now beginning to get underway again. Kiwi Kid got his mouse situation sorted out. The aggression onto St. Vicious in that top lane still continuing as the buff sadly waste away for him.
We got a bit of damage onto him, and the thing is, actually, the funny thing about Twitch on a 2-on-1 lanes is once you actually attack someone, your passive lasts 5 or 6 seconds, and so you actually can't re-aggress on the turret if he's under the turret, because you'll immediately pull aggro again, and so you actually saw him put on a bit of damage and then have to walk back and like wait for the timer to tick away.
So we see just that lane finally being pushed. That last siege minion, we may get it back out of the top lane if they don't continue to push Voyboy back. He is level 3 to their levels 4 and 3 right now, so that is not going to be good for him. Taking so much harass. 9-6 is the CS, so to say Voyboy's faring any better would not be fair. They finally drop the bottom turret. Overall, Curse now picks himself up 1,000 gold.
And that's from really the lanes winning just a little bit, and from that turret there, 1,000 gold is quite the margin. Skara trying to keep himself healthy up against Kale. Not the easy matchup. Actually goes in, but he's got a St. Vicious right behind him.
Oh, beautiful jump in, a flash in and a flash out. Skara could be going down here. One last attack from St. Vicious, and he picks up first blood.
There we go. Curse Gaming making it happen. Jackie, he put himself into harm's way, but he knew he could survive the damage just enough. Popped his ignite, flashed away, and said, Saint, hope you got the damage. It was a really good move. He ignited and flashed away, hoping that the damage would be there.
Freak, is one of the questions we posed. Can they find Skara getting a little too aggressive?
And they found Skara. You know, as far as a one-on-one is concerned, Skara made the right move there, but his wards had all timed out if he had any. He had nowhere to look.
So he now returns to lane, gets himself 2 Dorans for a little sustain in lane to the Fiendish Codex. Going to Nijacky, a different build we see coming from what Reginald has.
It's a different opening. Oh, they're going to go on elements right here. A lot of damage coming out from Twitch.
Yeah, there it is. Coming out of that stealth, Cutie Pie gets a little bit of attack speed. You can just see him quickly bursting down a few shots. But Cop, keeping focus, says, I can still do damage a few more shots. And he's playing the lane mechanically well. I mean, he's just known for that.
Yeah, exactly. Cop is a very, very good executor in general in League of Legends as an AD carry. He's a very consistent player as well, so I like him a lot for that role. And I think it meshes well with the Caitlyn lineup. When we look at someone like Double Lift, he wants to sort of make moves all the time, and getting him someone like Vayne or Urgot works better with his sort of play style. Cop, he's not sort of the type of player to want to play a champion like Vayne. He's very consistent, always puts up good numbers, great positioning for himself, always gets a damage output, and that's really strong as well.
So, Freak, we have a back here coming from I'm a Cutie Pie and Patoy. They did put a Vision Ward down on Dragon, so whether they want to swap these lanes back, they did lose the turret down there. We'll have to see what they decide to do here if there's any action for that objective. Skara taking a bit of damage as his barrels forcefully push the lane. Another one out there clears his wave. He is going to be 45 to 51 CS there. Nijacky doing very well of keeping himself on top. And we'll see how much turret that top is actually taking. And it's almost going to be down here. So will they decide to do this? And yes, it looks like Dignitas, if Elise is not back, will pressure the Dragon.
Yeah, they're going to keep onto this one. A lot of damage on elements here. They're trying again. Great sheep right there, kind of keeping him away. Dignitas, I mean, these lanes are just not going well for them. This is, right now, a good opening for Curse, but there's the Dragon.
So that does go down. The Vision Ward means that they want the gold right now. The Ignite goes down up top. Cutie Pie looks for one. Elements could go down here, but he shields himself, stays alive with a sliver of health. Oh, he falls down. Oh, so unfortunate. 1-1 now.
Great kill right there for Cutie Pie. Getting the kill, honestly, on an AD carry is a huge thing right there. And he's stealthing up. He's going to look for a comp right here. He's been blood boiled. Cop smells it, and I mean, who wouldn't smell Switch? But there's the fight.
He gets in close. He can take one turret shot here. The Expunge takes him out. He wouldn't even have to be in range. Oh.
Wow, there you go. And that's the Twitch play style. You max E first, but Saint's looking for a double kill.
He is coming in here. Cutie Pie is going to force himself right into the turret here. And it looks like he will go down for the execution. Very well played. And just the ice blast from Patoy made it happen that much easier.
And that was really nice. Now, he still gave experience to Saint. Saint gained a good, pretty much almost half level from that. But, of course, not getting up 300 gold, really, really huge as well. So, yes, this is suddenly looking really, really good for Cutie Pie.
So Saint on that smites it out. He is going to take down this turret, make up for that dragon, make up for the death that they just had on their team.
Okay, so let's take stock of this game because a lot has happened in the last 3 minutes. 1 to 2 kills, Curse a little bit behind. However, they are up 2-0 on turrets. And despite being down a dragon, they have the gold lead here. I think the lanes went in their favor overall. If you kind of look left to right, you're seeing most of those numbers bigger on the left-hand side, and that's where a lot of their gold lead is coming from.
With the turret being pushed down up top and bottom, they're going to get the middle one as well here. A very forceful play in the game of economy. It looks like the structures are trying to be dropped, and they are just trying to build that bank up in the early game.
Okay, so Curse, right away, they've kind of gone for this, and I actually like this play a whole heck of a lot. It's a very strong play for them. I believe we saw Millennium run something like this back at IEM Brazil, where they said, okay, great, it's before 10 minutes, let's just grab 3 to 4 people and just push down a turret.
All the turrets.
Yep. However, Dignitas are doing a very good job of stopping that because, well, they've got Gragas with good wave clear. Nunu supported that out as well, so they're not just quite getting the damage output.
So buffs not a super focus of this game for either team, just regularly grabbing and transferring those over to the mids. Scar is going to back after grabbing his. We'll see what he has to get. He does have a good 1,100 gold. Probably grab something of that AP status. He does grab a blasting wand. Crumbs in the jungle. Looks like he's actually quite far behind, 62 to 51 in minion score right now. The full Wriggles Lantern as well as going for the Kindle Gem into that cooldown for Xin.
Okay, so again, the early sort of tanky with jungle speed build there, the Wriggles into what's going to be locked into the Arn Solari. We saw that build last time from the odd one on TSM. It worked pretty well for him, just unfortunately his team couldn't back him up. Again, Nijaki going for that early Nashor's Tooth, not stopping for Haunting guys as we saw last time from Reginald, but just going for Nashor's Tooth right away and going up from there. So let's see how that pans out for him. Meanwhile, you just got the Death Cap coming up pretty soon for Skara.
See Cutie Pie in the lane with those 2 kills. Actually been doing well mid. Fight going down. Skara taking some damage there. Blasted out by Exploding Cask. Will he be able to get the last few hits? And St. Vicious flashes in. Puts the shield on. A beautiful job of the locker of the Iron Solari there. And it looks like they may be able to get themselves a kill. Crumbs on the outside. They could make this a 2-for-1 here if they can get a last attack. Void there with no heals for him. Nijaki will go down. And it looks like they're able to grab 2 for 2 here as they start to back off, Freak.
And that is why when you are there on the side lane, you roam and show up. Kiwi Kid enabled the first kill, and then Voidboy enabled the second. It's really, really smart play there by these guys. You always want to roam and show up for those fights. The 2 for 2, very, very well executed.
Where was that shield? Is he running barrier?
For whom?
It looked like they used a barrier or a locket. Maybe
Nope.
it was nothing.
Lee Sin.
Never mind. I guess it was a Lee Sin. It looked like a yellow shield. So now pushing mid here, Patoy. Looks like he's going to just be forced to guard this one off. 16,000 to 16,000 pretty much. Only 500 gold separates these two teams after it used to be 1,000. That gold lead is not going to be worth much anymore. 4-3 here, 12 minutes into the game. The 2 turrets in favor of Curse. They had focus on that middle turret, but it seems like they changed their mind. They didn't want it as fast. The 80 carries have gone back to the top lane.
Okay, so what we've got here now is, again, the late game situation for Dignitas is looking quite good. However, St. Vicious, he has been getting some gold now, right? The 3 kills on his team, Saint's been a part of all of them, and he was the killing blow on 2, so he's going to be in a wonderfully good shape. Ninejack is actually doing quite well for himself. Not the highest minion kills, but he's already got the Nashor's Tooth, so he's accelerating his way on through this game. And honestly, the core members here of Curse are looking nice, and we should look at that Voidboy. Now, he hadn't had any AP runes, but he did take the Magic Pen Mastery, and he went from Chalice into a needlessly large rod, so it is going to be AP needlessly.
Those AP spears are going to hurt. We hear the aggression going on in the top lane. Cutie Pie could be going down here. The teleport comes in from his left. He is trying to dodge. One last charge from St. Vicious. Picks himself up a 3rd kill of the game. He has now participated in every kill that his team has. Saint is getting very fed, and an early Xin is already aggressive enough.
And that's a really good thing for them. I actually like, if anyone to get all the kills in that team, I think Xin Zhao is one of the best candidates here. And he's going to continue to be the playmaker.
Right? But I said it last time, it sometimes doesn't go with the comp, but you said, Freak, they need an initiator. That is the only one for them to do it. So you're right. For him to be getting all those kills is amazing. Spears trying to go out as Voidboy deters Scarra from trying to guard this turret. Elements getting caught up as they give a little bit of harass back and forth. Kiwi Kid's going to grab up that bushwhack. He does have the double buff on. It's actually just wore off.
And Curse right here, honestly, they can really start making the aggressive moves a lot right here. They've got 2 healers on the team. They've got low cooldown Kale, and they've got AP Needly, so they can play the poke game, and they can heal up the damage that Dignitas puts back onto them. This is actually a very good situation for Curse in the mid-game.
Much more aggressive than game 1 already in each other's jungles at 14 minutes in the game here. Absolute Zero to pop off as he's forced to flash out of his own ultimate. Cutie Pie takes damage as well, and Curse is dictating these fights in the jungle.
Yep, there we go. The red buff steals Saint, picking that one up with Smite. Just denying these sort of resources is great, but here comes Crumbs for a really nice counterattack move. He saw 5 top, put the pink ward down earlier. Dragon is all theirs. This is the one thing that's keeping Dignitas in this game, is they're going to be 2-0 on Dragons, and that is super important for them.
They do need the gold. They are losing in that map control right now, so as long as they can keep a little bit of control in the entrance and exits of the jungle, they won't be too bad off, but they need to make those changes to start getting the turrets Freak. They need to start pressuring these lanes. The lane's not losing too bad, and actually Kiwi Kid coming out on top of Voyboy in the end, 91 to 74 in that creep score.
Well, Voy spent a lot of time in the top lane really trying to get the pressure going down, looked for that second turret in the top lane, and helped steal the Lizard buff. And Kiwi Kid's been spending time being just kind of a jerk. You can see he's up 4,600 gold to 3,800 from Voyboy. Of course, the most gold there in the game is still on that AD carry Twitch. 5,000 gold. He's still going to be the biggest factor here, but he's got to kind of face up against St. Vicious.
Scarra backing off out of the mid lane. Looks like they're just going to try to do everything they can to keep themselves on top, and he's been doing a good job. 124 to the 100 CS in that mid. Still kind of just going for a quick AP burst off of that ratio on his Q. And then the exploding cast to start off the fights. Gragas, a great late game champion. Right now he's already doing good for himself. Besides those 2 deaths in mid, you can see him playing a lot more cautious now, especially with his support and jungler coming.
Oh, sure. I mean, you kind of are at the point of the game where you don't have any ward coverage in the mid, but you do have decent amount, not much ward coverage in the top lane, but a decent amount towards the bottom. But it's so much easier for guys to roam around the map right here. Now, only one teleport from Void. He's not the scariest ganker in the game overall, but you are still seeing the situation where a gank from Lee Sin Gragas or a gank from Xin Zhao Kale is just going to ruin someone's day. So they do want to be a little bit far back here.
Pressure in top lane. They're just kind of farming this one out. From what was one of the quickest games we've seen, they're kind of backing off now, going back into the laning phases. They have almost no turrets to do so on their own side, but Dignitas does not want to pressure these fights right now. They want to find that creep score, and they want to find the strength in this laning phase.
Well, this is smart from Curse, because they realize that they can't force sieges on turrets right now, which is a really big credit to Dignitas, because that Gragas choice, I think more than any other champion they could have grabbed here, gives them the best opportunity to disengage and keep them from losing turrets. A lot of damage on the Kiwi Kid, but I feel like he's going to live here.
They are going quite hard on it. St. Vicious is tankier than you would expect at this point. They're going to stand right in the middle. Perfect job. Can they get the last Talon strike onto him? The dash in. And there's the spear to take it out. Great patience by Saint there on Shinzao.
Wow, so I take that back. Saint just was able to just completely chase him down. The amount of damage he had and tankiness was amazing. Jackie really getting hurt, but Dignitas used that window where Saint went to go gank the side lane to push.
And here comes Voyboy actually using that speed of Nidalee to get back into the middle lane. Crumb's taking some damage there. The Glitter Lance is down. One last spear from Voyboy could do some good damage. Saint going in for a second turret dive fight, this time behind the first and second. And they're forced out of this one as the team just continuously tanks that turret.
And the tankiness of Saint is just huge. That last fight where they just dove Kiwi Kid and did not care about the turret. He then came mid lane, and dove a turret again and forced Dignitas away. Saint is a huge playmaker for them right now.
The mid going to be dropped down. There's the third turret. All three outer turrets have been dropped for that first tier. 5-4 now, as it's 25,000 gold to 26,000 gold. So even being a turret up, the two dragons that Dignitas has kept their eye on keep them in a 1,000 gold lead.
And that's just, it's so impressive. I can't really even believe that that's actually happening, but it is. And the Infinity Edge now finished for Twitch. That's a really, really important pickup that we keep seeing. It just looks like Curse is winning, and yet when you look at the top of the screen, they're not somehow. Well, two turrets just got equalized. That's really, really important. You're seeing Twitch is still the biggest factor in this game. 6,500 gold on him. We have not yet seen him go into a team fight. That's going to be a huge unknown that we're just going to have to wait to see.
Pushing the mid lane out, Scar trying to stop that as well. And looks like Dignitas is trying to grab back this map control here. They've grabbed the turrets quite quickly on their side. The middle one, or the bottom one rather, is still down, but it's nothing they really want to pressure at this moment unless it's going to be after a dragon. So we'll have to see how they play this out. Voyboy back to that bottom lane to try to get farmed right now. 156 to 134 still in mid. AD carry is actually quite even right now besides the kills that I'm a Cutie Pie is picking up, and it's going to be really scary once they get that first full team fight.
And we'll see what it ends up looking like, because it's basically going to be AP Needly playing a long-range poke game, and honestly I feel like Curse will play farther back in general, because I feel like they have better long-range poke tools. They've got Kale, Lulu, Caitlyn, and Needly all able to play from pretty far back, and then when they want to go for it, then they unleash Saint and he goes in and kind of makes everything die. For Dignitas, I feel like it's hard for them to find the right fight, but if they get it, I don't see how they'd lose.
Just clearing out wards right now. Dignitas actually has quite a bit of vision wards here as they go down towards the dragon, towards the mid. Their vision is good. Actually, 3 vision wards coming out here, so it's almost like Patoy's playing a little bit game of Edward here and just buying up all the pink wards.
I think that's actually a really smart choice for them, because for Dignitas, they are really, really good at killing Baron and killing Dragon. We've seen that, the Dragon twice now. They've got the ward coverage. And again, they don't have the easiest time of engaging fights, and they're facing a poke team. So what they need to do is kind of pull Curse into them. And the best ways to do that are honestly things like Dragon and Baron, that, looking for these battles where Curse is on a timer, they must go in and fight, and it's like, great, please, come into Cutie Pie's ultimate, I dare you.
They are waiting for it right here. Voyboy just missing a spear on that. Trying to pull Dragon out of its den, so now it's anybody's business here. They are going to get some good damage onto Voyboy. Turned around, they have Nijaki caught up. Forced to use a very early intervention there. The Flash Frost is down. Where is that attack speed slow coming in? The Gragas ulti absolutely separating the team as Elise goes up. Forced to come down throughout the entire team. And Dignitas position themselves perfectly for this one. Free continuing to go on, rather, as they push through the fight. That last turret is the only thing stopping them from keeping going.
Oh, I'm surprised that Crumbs didn't want to just go for it and tank it anyway. But I guess we've been watching Saint Vicious tower dive people, and he's a tanky dude. You just look at his items and you're like, yeah, that's Locket, Wriggles, half of Aegis, and Ninja Tabby. The guy's pretty tanky. You look over it at Crumbs and it's like, you got an Aegis and a Ninja Tabby. So honestly, Crumbs can't dive the same turrets that Saint Vicious can. That's actually really important here to kind of look at who can take what fights. As far as that last fight is concerned, though, Curse, they did get the Dragon before they went 2 for 1 there. So Dignitas kind of traded out equally. What happened, though, was they did feed 1 kill and 1 assist to Cutie Pie, so focusing that gold, still very, very important. 178 minions, Infinity Edge, soon to pick up even more gold, or more items. He got 1,700 gold on himself. Cutie Pie, still going to be scary.
And a lot of Dignitas is actually sinking money into the pink wards here. 3 more wards going in for Lee Sin, and one of them being a pink one. Pink wards still being purchased out for Patoy this early. Obviously, the Oracles isn't going to be something that you want, but they're really striving for a lot of map control right here.
Exactly. This is, again, just where they're looking for the fights to start. It's really not on turrets. When you're up going for turrets, you're just in too confined of a location. It's too easy to poke against with Needly and Caitlyn. So they're looking for open field. They're looking for places where they can easily run backwards and kind of move around and find positions to go in and play that open field sort of battle. You saw in the last fight, they forced Nijaki's ult early, and then they came right back in. I just kind of watched Cutie Pie, and he positioned himself, stealth, came forward, said, okay, we found it. Gragas ult pinned them on the wall, spray and pray, just took 2 down right away.
Again, Wards being cleared out already at the Baron, 22 minutes into this one. Mid lane still being pushed quite a bit as the bottom lane left to, again, fend for itself and just farm it out. Crumbs is down there just kind of trying to give Patoy, or Voyboy rather, a hard time. Voyboy going for Athene's Holy Grail into that rod of her. This is our Rod, as we said before. The AP burst Nidalee. These fight team, or their poke team, really hasn't been able to do much. We saw what happened when it gets closed in on. A great ult from Scar really separated that last fight. Crumbs, a little aggression here as Kiwi Kid missed that cocoon. We'll see if they go in for a second time on this next wave.
Well, they've got a numbers advantage. There's no one nearby to stop this push. They've got a minion wave here. Void can't 1v3 on the turret and survive, and Kiwi's going to go in.
There it is. He misses to the right side. Voyboy dodges left. Looks like he tries to throw out some damage of his own, and he is going to lose that bottom turret. So they find the pressure they need to get that bottom turret. They equal out the structures in the game, but they still find themselves 2,000 ahead in gold right now. Dragons have been theirs. Curse was able to grab that last one, but at 2-1 in Dragons, we still see the item in the gold lead so much in favor. The Bulwark now finished for Dignitas, the Infinity Edge from before, and actually went from Infinity Edge right into Last Whisper, so he must have had a chunk of change in his pocket.
Yeah, he did. And the thing is, he's got so much attack speed from Nunu that he's not looking for the attack speed crit build. He gets attack speed from his Q. When he comes out of ambush, he gets a bunch. He's got Blood Boil on him, so he just needs attack damage and critical strike chance. Those are the only stats he really, really needs here. And he's like, yes, I need to eviscerate tanks. I know Saint is fed. I know it's a scary place to be, so let's do it that way. Let's kill the armor tanks. Let's kill the beefy guys, because I'm going to hit everyone anyway. And that's a good build for Cutie Pie. I really, really like that build.
Scar is backing. He did finally get his Rabadon's death cap. See what his next item is. He actually just outright buys a Void Staff. Void Staff is kind of seeing that a little bit more in play now.
Well, it's really, really smart, honestly. He's going for just a damage burst build. That is, right, he's not going the assassin build where you stack Magic Pen and you look for an Abyssal Scepter and try to kill a Squishy. He just wants to hit the entire team.
Completely on the hunt right now. Cutie Pie knows he's going down. Elements gets the ultimate, but they really didn't need it. They were able to take him down quite quick. Cop finds a kill there. It's going to be 1-1-1 for him. Looks like mid's going to get pressured off of this a little bit. Do they say they want Baron with the 80 carry down?
Yes, this is a good time. This is honestly a good time for them. They could bait it, though, as well, I guess, because they have the Oracles. And the thing is, they know Elise can't show up. Kiwi Kid isn't even bothering. He's just staying at the bottom lane. And, of course, they can always teleport Void if they needed to. They're just trying to bait and engage on Baron. They're not finding it.
The wards too much. There's the flash and the dash. Skara can still get himself out of this one as he walks away with Blood Boil. So they have wasted a flash here on the initiation, but that's not really going to be necessary for this Baron fight. The big thing here, going to see what Skara can be able to do with that exploding cast to start off this fight. If Zin can get in, however, separate them back into the fight. It's pretty much going to negate it completely. These guys have so much that can happen within the fight. And Curse isn't using the poke comp that much right now. They're just trying to get in there.
You're right, and that felt really weird to me for Curse because they had a 4-on-3. They knew Kiwi Kid stuck in the bottom lane has no way of showing up in at least 20 seconds, and they're like,
flash dive.
Well, I mean, like, I understand the purpose of, like, we're going to run in a Baron pit and try to bait you out. Holy crap, Void, a lot of damage.
Right onto Crumbs. He could find himself going down just out of range as they were all stuck around that. There we go, finalizing the kill there, as actually in a 1-for-1, Voyboy finds himself going down there. Actually, Gragas was able to help, so there was a good amount of burst damage there. St. Vicious initiating again. Great slow over the wall from Patoy. He peels them right off a Cutie Pie, but Nijaki flashes in and makes sure the fight happens, and Kiwi Kid's going to be there for the tank. Skara on the outside. They are just trying to auto-attack right now. Skara's got that drunken rage on. He's trying to do what he can. Kiwi Kid is being a valiant tank for his team, but it is not enough. Saint was tanky from the beginning. Saint is still tanky now and still alive with elements.
That was absolutely amazing right there. You just saw that they found Cutie Pie. Saint came in there as best he could, and Nijaki, you said it, the flash engage, the flash Q. I don't know where Cutie Pie's going to go at that point. He'd already burned flash to disengage from Saint the first time, so when Jackie chased him down, there was nowhere for Cutie Pie to go, and right away you saw Jackie's intervention on himself and just started auto-attacking. And he just put the damage output there, and there was nothing Cutie Pie could do to escape from that one. That was a very, very important kill.
You know, Dignitas allowed that to happen 3 different times until it finally worked for Curtis. That can't be something for them. Let's see how that happened once again. We saw Saint flash, and then dash in, right? And then this time, he does it once again.
So they find Crumbs, he jumps in there, they get a lot of damage on him, and he'll die to the Kale ultimate. What's important is the point after this one, after he goes down. Okay, it's a 4-on-4, and they come back down. There's Cop, everyone's here. Patoy's stuck on one side, there's Scara and Cutie Pie on the other. Saint across the wall, finds Cutie Pie, so he flashes. Jackie dodges Absolute Zero, flashes, finds Cutie Pie, ults himself, Scara can't stop him. The kill here on Cop is really, really awesome. That comes in just a second there. He's going to land an amazing cocoon onto a barrel. So here we go. He jumps over the wall, or he jumps with that, lands the stun, gets the barrel from Scara, but Saint, you talked about it in the play-by-play, tanking the entire time, cleaned up the fight at the end.
There's not much you can do, and he is just humming at you like that. And like I said, just before that started, Scara was jumped on twice before that. Flashes were used, and Saint kept initiating with that charge, and they were able to finally capitalize on that last one. Even after we said, why aren't they using the poke comp? Bam, bam, just initiates from Saint. Kind of continuously now checking Baron, trying to see if they're doing it. Dignitas wants to buy some time to get back to base, get some items in. Get that scaling up. We have the Warmogs and Sunfire Cape now on to Kiwi Kid. We saw him doing a lot. He did exactly what he needed to last game. He threw himself in the middle. He tried to make himself a distraction, and it actually gave Scar enough time to go around. He was waiting on cooldowns too much. That was an unfortunate part. They lost I'm a Cutie Pie. So if Kiwi Kid can do that with I'm a Cutie Pie up next time, it's going to be a way different story with that Blood Boil on.
And the thing is, though, that it's just gonna be difficult for Cutie Pie. So, ideal situation, Cutie Pie, most scary champion in the game.
Right.
The difficulty, though, is that it is hard to keep him alive. Cop is more or less self-sufficient there. He's actually pretty good at running away from stuff.
Saint is just so big. Lulu ultimate coming over the wall. Elements thinking they could pop up Crumbs and probably take out the jungler, which would mean a for sure Baron. But it looks like they now just are back and forth to wait this one out, Freak.
And Void's going to split, and that's perfectly fine for them. Honestly, they're okay allowing him to go. And look at that, he's back up in minion kills as well.
All right, they are going to try to initiate in the mid here onto St. Vicious just for some free damage.
They didn't look for the hard engage, though. Scar did not ult, though. They didn't really want to go for just Saint. It's a scary fight to go for. But they've got the poke. Look at that, just dropping Cop and Elements quite a bit low. And they're still pushing.
Scara throwing out that ultimate. It's actually not too long of a cooldown for the amount of damage you get out of it. And they're forced to stay at that turret for the time. So it's not like they're just going to back that damage off. Scara now drinking down the Drunken Rage, getting that sustain. He's already got his blue buff. And this is really where Gragas becomes super scary. The burst damage is constant from him. And the barrels you just see coming out, actually missing that one. But he can do that about every 3 to 4 seconds. And that, as we said before, is going to start shredding attack speed.
And that's going to be something that will come into play once in a while. It's hard to kind of read as far as the fight goes on, but certainly getting someone dropped down is really, really useful here. So the Baron attempt is there. They're going to be able to teleport in from Void. Let's see what happens.
Void did use that teleport to come into the fight. And actually, he's back home right now, so they are going to be able to grab the Baron here. Lulu, Elements, throwing himself in with the ultimate, actually stays alive there and takes most of the cooldowns for himself. Cutie Pie has been jumped on. Void Boy and St. Vicious doing their job perfectly. Nothing can keep him alive. He can't even teleport out, or stealth out, rather. Absolute Zero to kind of peel them off of Crumbs, but it's just too much. Void Boy and Saint making sure they do their job to 100%, and nobody can be protected.
And there we go, a 4 for 2 with the Baron. Curse doing a wonderful job in that fight, and now you can see that they are ahead, and Void runs across the map. He's looking for that bottom lane. The turret is already low. That's his to take.
Nothing is going to stop him until it's going to be Patoy here. Patoy's Absolute Zero is actually down, so he does not have the siege clear on this. You're going to see Void Boy just kind of not even care that he's there. Take down the inhibitor turret. First one down in the game. 31 minutes here. Baron is also grabbed by Curse just a few minutes ago. 14-11. And Curse have found themselves a gold lead.
There we go, and they're going to keep just pushing for it. I mean, look at this. They're going to get that second middle turret. I believe that's going down already. This inhibitor is theirs right now, and now they're up for the inhibitor turret. And just look how much they got for that. After the Baron, they got almost 3 turrets and an inhibitor, so they are in just a wonderful position on this map. And once again, you saw how those fights can get engaged. St. Vicious and Void Boy, well, they found Cutie Pie. Cutie Pie still did not have flash up in time on that fight, so we just did not have the ability to get out there. Scar's going to find Saint here, though.
Scara using the ultimate onto Saint. I don't think he's going to have him. He does get the slowdown for body slam there. He's killing the attack speed. The blue buff has worn off of Skara here. He gets a little bit of help coming in from Crumbs, but here comes Elements. This is going to be a big saver here. St. Vicious definitely going down, but he finds himself a kill. He'll heal up a little bit off those few pokes, but a 1-for-1 in what was in a very aggressive Skara.
That was Scumbag Crumbs. 100% Scumbag Crumbs got Skara killed right there.
Right into
he
it.
thought he kicked him into the wall and keep him from moving. He actually kicked him into range of Skara, and that's just unfortunate. I mean, the kill is still good, but
yep.
Oof, that's not what we wanted to have happen. This is not. Okay, so looking back at the items, Skara, he's looking for, I'm going to guess, Zonia's more so than Deathfire Grasp here, because he's in melee range. He's been a target of opportunity a heck of a lot here. So he's grabbing the Zonia to keep himself alive in the fight. Otherwise, a lot of damage from him. He's got the Home Guard Sorcerer Shoes, the Void Staff, the Double Doran's Ring, the Death Cap. Skara is a big, big damage threat. Basically, this team reads as Gragas and Twitch, if you give them time, will kill your team. But you've seen time and again Curse look to kill them first, and recently they've succeeded there.
So we have inhibitor turrets down and inhibitors in that bottom lane, Freak. They are only down a few thousand gold right now, and Dignitas does still have a good fight composition to come into this. The poke comp starting to be used a little bit more. We can see the burst of those spears from Voyboy, as well as that split push he's trying to put on for his team. Now they're going to pressure mid. They also have a great top on that push lane already. Voyboy looks to have about 45% time left on his teleport, so he's going to stick with the team for this. They also have Baron. They're going to just siege on this turret. It's got one shot left. Then they have the inhibitor to go for it.
It's likely going to be theirs right here. And you've seen this Voyboy transition fully, holy cow, into AP Needly, which gives him some really good javelins.
And there you go, Freak. Like I said, starting that fight with people at 50% health. It's exactly where Cutie Pie is. Lee Sin was actually forced to shield and walk back with him as Crumbs, I believe, may have picked up some home guards on that one along with Cutie Pie. So they are starting to realize they need to start making some changes here, and the fight's going to be in their base 90% of the time.
Yeah, and here we go. This final sort of inhibitor is the target of Curse right here. They are a poke team. They've got long-range tools. They finally started the siege here, and they are just dealing so much damage. Every javelin so far has hit. That's the first one that's missed in, I think, 4 attempts there. Dignitas must defend this. They cannot win a game with no inhibitors.
A super methodical Curse continuously just moving around the map right now. 1,000 damage shots coming out from Curse Cop. You can see Patoy and his team just waiting to set up a re-siege and stop the minions from coming in. Just look how much harass can be put out. Traps, bushwhacks, and everything. Those bushwhacks are going to shred a little bit of armor as well. Those traps are going to make it hard for anybody to cast anything, and there's 2 to be stepped in. Somebody's going to step in one of those during a fight.
Oof, and Patoy just takes another javelin to the face. And the problem is Dignitas lineup does not have sustain, so those javelins stick. And there we go, right there up towards the Nexus, those minions. Kiwi Kid has to move, and there's Curse making the move. This is going to be their turret damage.
There's a few more shots. You can see Cop every time. Elements focusing the shield on Cop. 1-2 shots on the turret. 1-2 shots on the turret. There's one. Dodges that barrel. Goes in for the turret again. Gets hit to the right. They go for St. Vicious. I don't know if that's what they wanted. A beautiful intervention, and they threw down the Lulu ultimate, but it doesn't matter if it was right on top of each other because they are just rolling through the HP bars of Dignitas right now. Kiwi Kid. Cop is actually tanking the turret as he takes down Kiwi Kid, and it looks like they will be able to push on to the last inhibitor here, Freak. Dignitas is just forced to watch it go down.
There we go. So that's a 1-for-1. That bottom turret is kind of the target of attention of these minions, but it's a 4-on-4, and Curse is not showing signs of letting up. They could close it out here.
Looks like Cop is on that top turret as well as Nidalee on the bottom when they're split pushing the Nexus turrets from either side, so giving Dignitas everything to think about right now. They only have a 5,000 gold lead as they have barreled into the base here. It was the early take on all of those turrets that Dignitas has not been able to come back from.
Okay, and you can just see just how well Curse has been disciplined here. They said, okay, you know what? You're right, you guys have healed back up. Skara's got great wave clear. Let's back it up for now. But Curse has pretty much 2 minutes of complete map control. Until that other inhibitor comes back up, they are pouring out 6 super minions every 30 seconds, and that will just leave Dignitas stuck in their base, unable to do anything but try to farm out minions. Now they've got the 1 inhibitor back, so it's now only 2 super minions coming out every 30 seconds, but still Dignitas, for the most part, are stuck in their base. it's Curse's map to take everything they want.
You know, Freak, it just looks like this Dignitas team, even by their items, should still be rolling through this game right now. We look at Cutie Pie. He's been able to, like we said, focus on just building damage, which you think would just shred your face out. He gets the attack speed from Nunu, but he's not able to fight. Saint and Voyboy are doing so good at completely shutting him down, despite the massive amount of peel that he gets from his team.
Exactly, and actually the last time you saw Cutie Pie go down, it was actually all 5 members of Curse participated in that fight. Yeah, the kill went to Saint, but you actually had 4 assists on that, so everyone down the line actually helped him pick up that kill. And with Baron spawning in 10 seconds, it's going to be difficult for Dignitas to stop this, because look at that. Look at Voyboy on the right-hand side on that mini-map. He's going to split push, and they don't have Cutie Pie anywhere nearby to stop Baron. Maybe he can stop Void, but I think they could just get Baron in a 4-on-4.
Well, his teleport window is open, so even if he decides they want to go back in this fight, they don't have Cutie Pie from that, as you said. So they are going to be able to take down this Baron right here. The ward is there, so they'll somewhat have the time. Barrel's not going to do much. Actually, they're just kind of holding off here. They're really biding the time. Yeah, baiting it and biting that time out. He got it with the barrel, throws the cask in. They are able to make it out of this one. And we do see Voyboy pushing off the bottom lane. How are they going to counteract this?
Wow, so we blew it up with the Q completely in front of St. Vicious' Smite. However, they're still at 0 inhibitors. Even with Baron, they might just die to super minions here.
Gragas coming in there. That is quite a bit of damage. They now start to push this in. Scara with that home guard on. He is going to be able to help his team here. Baron is on. They will have a bit of regen along with those home guards. Do they have the damage to push them out? They get elements. They're only going to focus a few abilities onto that. Kiwi Kid trying to get out. And this is where the poke comp becomes so hard when you're trying to defend your structures. St. Vicious back and forth, knowing that it's not his time to dive in right now. Allow his team, allow these minions to get in here, and you can wreak so much more havoc when they're focused on using abilities for those minions.
And the guy to watch here is Cop. He's the longest range. He's the guy to hit turrets here. Curse, they're actually looking a little bit afraid here. They are just waiting for super minions, and they're staying outside of explosive cask into turret range. They're waiting until they have super minions. They don't want to get Scar ulted into a really, really bad spot. They wait for this inhibitor to respawn. That's going to be theirs again, and they're going to keep pouring in. Let's see if they can do it, because, again, they have the numbers advantage. They have the minions. We'll see if they can.
This is that front-end burst they were so afraid about. We were saying Gragas, scales pretty well into the late game. This is that point. You saw what a Q and an exploding cask did, was able to outsmite St. Vicious on that Baron attempt. So now biding their time, crawling back very slowly. We've got a few more minutes to do this one, but this Baron is not going to be used offensively in any way for them.
Oh, they can't at all. They've just lost the last 2 inhibitors. That respawn just went right back down right away, which just, it makes that so difficult for them to make any moves on the map. Honestly, they are just completely bottlenecked into their base. Even if they do win this game, it's going to have to still be something miraculous, because I don't see how they can leave their base. Void has teleport. He was part of that, I think, I'm just trying to think, like, how do Dignitas win this game? Because they are still stuck in their base, even with Baron, even with close to similar gold.
That is one of the toughest things, actually, because they have the items they need. They have Bulwark, they have Frozen Heart. They are doing it synergy style with the team. It's not like everybody's focusing on their own build. They have what it takes. But this St. Vicious team, this Curse team, like we said, so methodical right now, so well trained in this position, and they have been playing in the public eye. We've seen them at tournaments, and it is definitely bolstering their play. A complete shutdown there, quickly going on to Patoy. This could be a final fight coming in. We do see Dignitas kind of throwing in some cards there, but they are going to back off. It's now 1-for-1, and the supports are out of the fight. No power play for either team here. The Baron still slowly ticking away for Dignitas' side, but it's not going to be enough to keep up the turrets. The minions are just too much for them right now. Do they focus on health bars or do they focus on the Nexus? It's going to be a little bit of both, and it looks like Curse will take the second game of the day away from Dignitas.
Congratulations right there, just that siege. And there they are on your screen. More relief than like, oh my god, like we finally got it. But then it was like, oh man, that Baron steal getting stolen away from St. Vicious. You kind of see the grin on his face, despite a little bit of a misstep, but it worked out for him, of course. But the strategic play from them, right? They got the early turret kills. They kind of just kept a. I guess I wouldn't say they kept a gold lead. Dignitas looks good on gold overall,
right?
But they found the right elements there, which was the pun that I was looking for. But I'll take it. Thanks. They found the right battles. Right? They found Cutie Pie. They found Scara. They just got these kills that Dignitas they found these kills on champions that Dignitas relied upon, and they were removed. And there, of course, Curse joining up with Dignitas, the handshake for them. Congratulations again to Curse. But they found the right kills, and they turned it into a game win.
So well played by everybody there. An early game, we saw Scar get caught out a little bit in the middle, but then again, he was able to come back as well. I think he had some of the most CS in the game, 357. So he still got himself bolstered up. He still got himself strong, and he was actually able to steal Baron there. With the team, they may have even been able to go back in onto that. That was an amazing fight for them if they were able to have that, because they had already, or St. Curse rather, had taken so much damage from Baron.
Sure, but the problem was they had at best a 3-on-4 or 3-on-5. They had actually sent Lee Sin. Like, the thing is, they went for, okay, we're going to have to
At the same time, Void Boy was bottoms. Though.
Exactly, right. It was Void Boy splitting bottom with teleport up. They had Twitch and Lee Sin sent to defend against him, and it still lost the inhibitor.